Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and my very first battle report. I'm pleased to introduce a game I discovered called Incountry Recon. So this game is I would describe as a tactical shooter, skirmish game. Very simple and easy to learn rules, but hard to master. And also these rules are completely free on their website. So as a disclaimer, definitely don't use this as a be-all end-all tutorial for the game. It's just me stumbling through the rules because I'm still learning them, just having a bit of fun. I throw in a couple of house rules here and there, and I sort of fudge a couple dice rolls here and there, just to sort of make the scenario a bit more fun. So let's get into it. We have two teams of Russians here. The first team is a Tier 1 primary team, comprising of a battlefield controller, right here, as well as a compact LMG. And the second team is a Tier 1 primary team. This team is led by a fire team leader, as well as a compact LMG. And then we have the US Special Forces. And the first team is a Tier 1 primary team, led by a battlefield controller, as well as a compact LMG. And the second team is a Tier 1 primary team, led by a fire team leader, as well as a grenade launcher. So to pick a scenario, both players will roll a d10 and the higher number will pick the scenario from the list here. Red will be the Russians and the blue will be the US. US pick the scenario. To make it simple, we'll be playing No Man's Land. The Russians pick the battlefield conditions, and for this game there won't be any special conditions. And here we are placing objective markers 1, 2, and 3. So both sides will be rolling 2d10s due to the battlefield controller special rule. The highest number will take the initiative for this round. Alright, so starting with the US Special Forces, they're going to move up towards, through this avenue of approach. They're going to try and cover the center mostly. So we're going to move up the battlefield commander behind this bit of rubble. And he's going to take a ready token, and he's going to call up his grenadier. And they're both going to take ready tokens, and these ready tokens will allow them to react to the enemy when they move after their first action. We're going to move a couple of guys, well, one guy up to the right towards this building, and we're going to move up towards the left towards the other objective. Yeah, he's going to go up towards this cliff and try and get some cover. Alright, so the Russian Special Forces, they're not going to move towards the center anymore because the enemy is taking initiative and covered the center, so they're going to move to the right, starting with Battlefield Commander. He's just going to get to cover behind these little shanty buildings, along with another trooper who's just going to go alongside him just to give him some support. And this guy didn't get the memo, and he's actually going to go straight up to the middle towards this piece of rubble. Now, because he has finished his first action in line of sight of the enemy with a ready token, they are going to react to this guy, and they're going to attempt to shoot him. Now, he is in concealment, so he's not in cover, so we'll be rolling 2 dice. And that's 1 hit. They need 5 pluses. And we need a 6+ to inflict a wound, and no, we don't make it. And the US will remove that ready token. Alright, this guy's going to move up and continue his movement. And he's going to move along the same path, and he's finished his first action in line of sight of the grenadier. And the grenadier is going to react by shooting his grenade launcher. Now, it's a heavy weapon, and he did move, so I should only be rolling 1 dice. But let's say one of these went through. Now, the grenade's radius is only 2 inches, so it's only going to hit this one guy here. And we need an 8+ to cause an injury, and that doesn't do anything. That's the end of the first activation for the Russians. And here we see the second fire team is just going to move right towards the objective. We've got the fire team leader just slowly weaving his way through next to the skip, followed by the compact LMG and the rest of his team. Yeah, so they're going to try and get that objective as fast as possible. Hopefully they don't meet any resistance. Okay, so the second Russian Special Forces are going to start moving up towards that same objective. This team member is going to cover that line of sight where the enemy grenadier and the enemy commander is. And one by one, the rest of this Russian fire team is going to move up just behind the fire team leader, getting ready to assault that objective on the left there. So the next turn should be, we should be in for a bit of a firefight. Alright, turn 2, and the initiative goes to the Russians. Right, so another little happy accident for the rest of this game. So only the fire team leader should be able to put ready tokens on 2 of their team members. But in this universe, the battlefield commander is also going to have the same ability. So for the rest of the game, both the fire team leader as well as the battlefield commander are going to be placing ready tokens on their team. Alright, so the Russian Special Forces, they're going to continue their push on that left objective there. So the leader is going to send up a couple of his guys up towards that building with the dumpster. The first guy gets there safely. Now the second guy is going to finish his first activation, and I think he's going to be in line of sight of the enemy. So the US battlefield commander is actually going to use his ready token and fire at him. Now the Russians are also going to fire back, so we're going to be in conflict. Okay, so the result of the conflict, both hit. Russian doesn't get any kills, and neither does the US. So we're going to continue the movement with the fire team leader moving up, taking point in front of his comrade there. Now the Russian compact LMG is going to fire at the battlefield commander, and he scores a hit and actually manages to wound him. Okay, the battlefield commander's team is going to start moving up. Now the enemy Russian teams are going to spend their ready tokens to fire back. Now we'll be resolving the non-conflict shootout first. Once that's resolved, the conflict will be resolved. So that's a success, but it doesn't cause an injury. Now the conflict rollout. One success for the Russians again. Will they be able to wound? No. Okay, the other team member is going to start moving up towards the left, and he's going to target one of the Russian enemy units. Scores a hit, but will it cause an injury? It does not. So here we're going to demonstrate the power of the grenade launcher. So roll 3 dice, and 2 hits are going to be applied to each target within the 2-inch radius, and both of them actually get an injury token, which is pretty devastating. So Vasily here is not happy that he's seen 2 of his comrades go down to injuries. So he needs to make a bold move here. He's going to make a push towards the objective. The enemy can't react to him because they've spent all their reaction tokens. So he pushes up unhindered, but he is now exposed. Alright, the commander's partner is going to give him some cover, and he's going to move up and shoot this guy who's stupidly out in the open at the moment. So he managed to score a successful hit, but unfortunately can't cause any damage. So this guy was probably asleep on the job, so he probably should have fired at the enemy commander moving. So instead he's just going to move towards the right objective along with the rest of his team. Now being in close range, they do get to ignore cover. So they'll be able to roll 2 dice instead of just 1. But unfortunately the fire is ineffective. Okay, we're going to move up into this building just to get into a good firing position. And the last team member is going to be firing at the enemy commander, and he'll be rolling 2 dice instead of 3 because of the assaulter special rule. Causes a wound, and the enemy commander goes down with an injury. Alright, turn 3, initiative. Okay, goes to the US. A fire team leader will place a ready token on the guy in the building, as well as himself. Okay, he'll try and place a ready token on himself, and he'll place another one just on his mate here. Now hopefully these guys can resolve their injuries. Okay, and the commander is going to place a ready token on his buddy just there, and place another one on himself. Okay, resolving medical checks. We need a 5+. Dead. Medical check. He's fine. And him. He's fine. And we have another medical check, and he fails it, so he's taken out. So we're going to be doing a couple of pin checks for 2 of these teams, which is essentially a skill check, a 5+. First team is fine, and the second team is also fine, so neither teams are pinned. Alright, so the US Special Forces are going to start pushing up on this objective, and this poor guy draws the fire of 2 Russians who spend their ready tokens and fire at him. So the first shot will result in a hit, and it will cause an injury. So this poor guy goes down. And the second guy is going to resolve his ready token and shoot at the same guy and see if he can finish the job. He does cause a hit. Will it cause an injury? Nope. Alright, the compact LMG is going to move up, and the enemy can't react to him. So he will be firing 1 dice because of the heavy special rule. He does score a hit, and he should only be rolling 1 dice here. But let's say he got very lucky and killed this guy anyway. Okay, and this final guy in the house is going to fire at the guy at the very back there. They'll be rolling 1 dice for cover, and he does score a hit, but he doesn't cause a wound. Okay, the Russians have a man down, so they need to check to see if they're pinned. They roll 1 dice on a skill check, and they pass. Alrighty, so the Russians are going to pull back slightly behind the dumpster. This guy is going to fire that compact LMG. He is in close range, so he'll be rolling 2 dice with his carbine. He does score a hit, and he does manage to cause an injury. So this guy will go down. And his teammate behind him is about to support him, but before he does, this US trooper on the right spends a ready token to fire at him, so there will be a conflict roll. The US trooper does manage to get 2 successful hits and causes an injury. The US forces are now going to push up onto that objective, and as this trooper does, this Russian soldier is going to spend his ready token to fire back. He does manage to score a hit, but his hit is ineffective. So the US trooper, unhindered, will continue to move towards the objective. And his teammate's going to go in and support him, so he's just going to move up and take cover behind this building and take pot shots at any of the Russians that try and shoot. And the grenadier is going to move up and take a rifle shot at that guy hiding behind the building. He rolls 1 dice, but it's ineffective. And the Russian forces, seeing the US forces moving up towards the objective, attempt to stop them. They take a couple of shots at them, and one of them does hit, but it's ineffective. This guy tries to shoot at the guy going into the building and manages to score a hit. Will he wound? He will cause an injury. So this guy is stopped in his tracks. And this Russian soldier, seeing the grenadier shoot at him, attempts to shoot in return. He rolls 2 dice, manages to score a hit, but unfortunately does not wound. With both battlefield commanders down, both sides will only get 1 dice. So the initiative will go to the US. Okay, here we'll be placing a few ready tokens across each of the teams, and a couple of medical checks as well. So a lot of pretty successful medical checks in this turn. Everyone essentially removes all their injury tokens. So this Russian soldier is going to attempt to shoot at the same target. But the US Special Forces teammate is going to shoot first to see if he can take him out. So he spends a ready token. He'll be rolling 2 dice to see if he gets a hit, and he gets 2 hits. And he will manage to kill him outright with 2 injuries. And this Russian soldier, tired of taking pot shots, goes into close quarters combat with this US trooper. And he rolls the high number, making him the victor in close quarters combat. And he will take the enemy prisoner. And the US forces retaliate by shooting at the guy who took their team member hostage. They manage to score a hit and cause an injury, taking him down. And on the right, near the objective, this LMG will try and shoot at these guys near the shipping containers. Doesn't manage to get any hits, but the fire team leader takes a shot at this guy behind the dumpster and does manage to score a hit as well as causing an injury. So this guy will go down. And the last team member is going to jump the rubble and claim this objective for the US. And here we're going to demonstrate the power of the compact LMG with its sustained special rule. These two Russian soldiers are going to fire one after the other at this compact LMG, and this compact LMG trooper is going to react to both of them. The first shot doesn't do anything, but the second shot is going to kill the Russian soldier, and he goes down. And this guy is going to move into the objective and claim it for the US side. And while the objective is getting claimed, this guy is going to shoot at the wounded Russian soldier. He'll be rolling 2 dice, and he manages to finish him off. Coming up to turn 5, the Russians take the initiative. Doing medical checks, we find that this guy is still okay. Alright, so this Russian soldier behind the dumps is going to chuck a grenade right there on the objective. 2 successful hits on the grenade roll. The first guy is fine, but the second guy takes an injury token. And the guy behind the shipping container is going to finish the job and shoot at the LMG. He makes 2 successful hits and he causes a successful injury. Okay, so the fire team leader is in a bit of a desperate position at the moment. So he's going to target the Russian behind the dumpster and try and avenge his fallen teammates. He manages to get 1 hit, but unfortunately the shot doesn't do anything. Okay, the US trooper inside the building is going to chuck another grenade at this guy behind the dumpster. This guy's taking all the hits at the moment. He managed to get 1 successful hit, but the grenade is ineffective. Alright, and this Russian soldier is going to move behind this building, and he sees the grenadier out in the open, so he's going to fire his shots at him. He rolls 3 dice, and all of them hit, but unfortunately this grenadier is a tough guy, and he survives. And in response, the grenadier is going to move up to take cover behind the building, and he's going to take a ready token, just in case someone moves in his line of sight. Alright, so it's down to the wire. It could still go either way. Okay, initiative. The initiative goes to the Russians. So we have 2 medical checks here for the US forces. Both of them unfortunately fail their medical checks. We did roll for a pin check, and this team is still unpinned. Alright, the firefight continues on this left objective. The guy behind the dumpster shoots at the fire team leader and doesn't manage to kill him. And his teammate moves up as well to try and finish off the fire team leader. He manages to hit him, but unfortunately his shots cause no damage. So I'd say this fire team leader is very, very lucky. So in response to all the shots getting fired at him, the fire team leader prepares a grenade and hurls it at these 2 soldiers. One of the hits does manage to injure one of the Russians. So this fire team leader is still fighting back successfully. And the guy in the building is going to initiate close quarters combat. They're going to roll off, and whoever has the high number wins. Now, I do have a house rule which states that in close quarters combat, if there is a wounded combatant, that combatant rolls 2 dice and has to take the lower number, just to give the unwounded soldier a bit of an edge. This Russian moves up towards the objective and takes a shot at the grenadier, who will react to him. There'll be a conflict roll. The Russian manages to get 2 hits as well as the US, so it'll be a simultaneous resolution here. The Russian does manage to injure, but the US unfortunately doesn't. That's turn 6. The final turn, so the initiative goes to the US on this one. The Grenadier tries to pass his medical check and unfortunately he fails, so he will be going down. Fire team leader moves up, shoots point blank at the last Russian soldier on the right objective. He manages to make 2 hits and takes him out of the game. As the last man standing on the Russian side, he will take one final pot shot at this guy here near the dumpster. He has 3 shots and all of them miss. And that's the game. I think we're going to call it there. So the Russians will make a tactical retreat. They've taken 1 hostage, 0 objectives, and the US have taken 2 hostages with 2 objectives, making this a US Special Forces victory. So if you stuck around till the very end, thanks for watching.